Okay, going to warm up for a day of Blood Bowl with a recap of my previous Tilean Cup NAF game against the fabulous Tulkas from France. He's using Wood Elves. I am using Wood Elves as well. No, is he using Wood Elves? Let's have a look. Let's remind ourselves what happened. I'm certainly using Wood Elves. He is using High Elves. It was, yes, absolutely. Cool. So started off with nice weather. Yeah, so quite enjoying Wood Elves in general. Obviously, winning is fun. Started with a mild pitch invasion. Don't mind a mild pitch invasion, keeps things mildly interesting, especially when players on your line get stunned. The best pitch invasions, obviously, is when all three players on your line get stunned, because it means that they are means they're not dead. So mild pitch invasion is fine, and he is receiving. And one player out. See, that's the sort of thing that can happen. Now he's got Bo Gallante, which is the fun thing about this game. Never played against him before. Now he left me this, and later claimed, I think, that this was a cunning ploy to get my Frenzy War Dancer into harm's way. But it may have been that, or it may have been a mistake. Who knows? But I had a one dice blitz on Bo anyway, but only got a pushback and then the sidestep into action. So then I had to sort of decide what to do. I didn't want to overcommit, so I just gave him one helper, maybe two, in case something exciting happened on the next turn. So then he got the power on the War Dancer, and then decided to reset in his own half and foul the War Dancer off the pitch with a KO, which is quite cool with a Frenzy War Dancer. So I still have my strip one, so I leapt in at that point and got the pushback that I needed. No sure hands on Bo Gallante. So bounced to him and then out to there. And then I was able to nip in and do elfy stuff, but not get it particularly safe. I don't know if there was anywhere safer particularly I could have gone with that. Potentially I could have left some of my players later on and then used them to make a sort of better cage. But I've got the ball, so that's a good thing. But he should be able to get it away fairly easily. So he had a strip ball player, but he got the POW, so didn't need it. And so then this is lots of elfiness going on here, really. So he's got the ball, and has moved the ball up the pitch. And it's not looking quite as good now, but still able to get in and two dice the ball carrier. But that was rubbish, because the ball bounced to his player. I had these catchers and War Dancer lurking to go and scoop up the ball from wherever it landed, but if it lands in his hands, there's not a lot I can do. So I was in a bit of trouble here because all my players were too far forward, and all I had to do at this stage was just wait for him to score. And yeah, a bit too much out of position to be able to do anything about that. And he did a reasonable job. So I did various crazy things to try and get the ball back, but none of them worked. And he did this. He did the excellent eye cage, the Vingabus, as it's sometimes known, whereby you have 5 in a cage, but then you have this extra one here, so it's always a 2 dice uphill, unless you sort of have one corner potentially. So he scored in his turn 8, and then I had the chance for a 1-turner. Still had most of my players. Still had the sidestep catcher, which sometimes makes things easier. Didn't particularly need him for this one actually, because the positioning was there. But unfortunately, so I got the pushback on the first one, but then I think I POW'd on the second one. So on the second one, it was a double POW or a POW skull. So I just needed 2 pushes basically. So if I'd had one more push, then I could have got another push on this one, because I'd have brought the catcher around to here and then pushed out to there, and then it would have been doable at least. So it would have been then a 4-up catch, and then a 4-up, 2-up, and then firmer 2-ups for the score. But was not to be. So half time happened, and then I was getting the ball, and starting to run out of players a bit now. Just so 4 players out. So just and going for hanging out at the back and just sort of looking, and then a lot fewer players now, and getting rid of some of his as well. So we're down to not very many elves against not very many elves, and a very few happening now. And then this was a funny one at this stage, in that I didn't know what to do. So here I could have scored. So he had a block catcher lurking, but that was pretty much the only player he had, and he needed the both down or the power. Obviously should have scored at this point. I do like to practice stalling in these online games where it doesn't hugely matter. Obviously, nothing very matters in Blood Bowl, but sometimes it matters more than others if you're playing big team events and majors and big tournaments and things like that. So practicing stalling is always good, and seeing when stalling is a good idea and when it isn't always builds up experience. So he had to use the reroll, but got the both down, and then was able to collect the ball. So that was not ideal. But then I had players lurking again, so I was able to get it loose, and then get the ball. Now he did something quite clever here, which is push this player into this player, so his strip ball player ended up next to mine without having to use 2 blitzes. So that was good from him, and then the ball bounced over there. He got the ball, and then managed to chuck it to Bo. Made a mistake here, I think, in that I should have put the assist on there. But then it wasn't to be, so he managed to run away with the ball. So well done him, well played. Good to see Bo in action. It's a fun game, absolutely.